Good morning, just after 6 o'clock, Robert and Erin, 101. It's not even freezing. Stop it. It's 34 degrees. Stop it.
It's cold.
It's 34.
It was 58 yesterday morning this time.
Just after 6, Robert and Erin, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Miss Erin, local news next.
Most kids do have to go to school today.
It's 35 and it didn't rain.
Well, there are some school systems closed.
Just the ones that panicked and freaked out and
the
should be
rain
replaced.
stopped at like 9 at my house.
Yeah,
so it was gone and it wasn't freezing.
And you're the one down there who thinks she's on the ark.
Yeah.
Plus, we're going to argue about this. She's a wiener. Fletcher in sports, traffic, and weather. It's coming up next on Keel.
KEEL Morning Report, now on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
A bitterly cold morning. State climatologist Barry Keim says some areas are seeing temps in the upper 20s to low 30s today, but it could be even worse tomorrow.
By tomorrow morning, that cold air is just going to keep on coming, and we're going to likely to have temperatures down into the upper 20s to low 30s across the entire state of Louisiana. So it's going to be a very, very brisk day.
But it's not as cold as we expected, and the winter precip hasn't really happened across our region. Most youngsters do report to class as scheduled today. More controversy at SPD, a lieutenant questioning Substitute Chief Ben Raymond's hiring practices. Lieutenant Colette Kelly has asked the Civil Service Board to investigate Raymond's choice of Lieutenant Janet Daly as his interim deputy chief. Kelly says the position was never posted and that she has more experience and is more qualified than Daly. The board stopped Daly's move to the new position while they investigate Kelly's claims. An embattled Shreveport vet arrested. Matt Parker has the latest.
Jamie Wise, a Shreveport veterinarian who's been under investigation by the DEA, has been arrested. Wise surrendered to the Caddo Sheriff's Department on Monday. Following an investigation from the DEA and Sheriff's Office, Wise is being charged with failure to keep records and misuse of controlled drugs. Last year, the DEA pulled Wise's license to distribute CDS drugs after a whistleblower claimed that Wise and a friend were using the drugs themselves. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
Patients growing increasingly frustrated with the delays related to medical marijuana. The medical-grade pot was supposed to be on the market by the end of this month. Now officials are saying it may be closer to the end of summer. Many believe excessive testing and administrative problems with the state ag department are to blame. 2 suspects dead after a shooting Monday that left 5 Houston police officers hurt. 4 were hit by gunfire as they tried to serve a search warrant at a home where drug selling was suspected. 2 of the officers are in critical condition. Alzheimer's sufferers potentially have some great news out of LSU Health New Orleans. A patient who underwent hyperbaric oxygen therapy showed a big improvement in their mental and physical faculties. Director of the medicine, Dr. Paul Hart, says the patient reported increasing quality of life, and a brain scan showed a 38% increase in brain metabolism after undergoing the therapy.
The largest sets of genes that get turned on with this therapy are the growth and repair hormone genes that grow new tissue and the anti-inflammatory genes.
The patient was a 58-year-old woman who had experienced 5 years of cognitive decline. Now that private schools can hold state championship games at sites separate from public schools, it's up to LHSAA leadership to make it work. The significant change goes into effect for the 2019-2020 season. Executive Director Eddie Bonine says the details have yet to be worked out, though.
A lot of little moving targets here, but we're going to hit the ground running and do what we can to see where we're going to go with this.
LHSAA principals voted to give select schools the authority to choose where their championship games would be held. How's this for a bargain? Or maybe not. A 4-story, 8,000 square foot castle in the middle of the Nevada desert. It's an off-the-grid doomsday prepper home up for sale. The price tag, $900,000. The home has 16-inch thick concrete walls and self-sustained energy systems. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
.101.7 FM, 710 KEEL, Tuesday morning traffic. Guess what? The roads are not icy. Who would have seen this coming? Oh, brother. Traffic update. Here's Ruben.
Everything's looking nice and clear for your early morning drive to work or school, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on Line Avenue near Monrovia Street due to construction. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Well, the worst of the cold will stay off to our north. We are going to look at sunshine. Chilly temperatures compared to yesterday, 46. Cloudy tonight, low 32. Clouds open the door for partly cloudy skies tomorrow, 53. Thursday, few clouds during the day, highs near 60. Richard Wettigan, the Weather Channel.
Perhaps I was a little overboard when I threatened to come down there and choke you with my shoelace.
You did.
I really did.
You threatened physical
I
violence.
will come down there. I will garrote you with my shoelace.
You must admit it's colder today than it was yesterday. Correct?
101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. It's 12 after 6 o'clock. The KEEL app is a free download.
But there's no ice. There's
from
no
Office
snow.
Furniture Source. No.
And there's no
And you know the
winter
amazing thing about
precip.
this is exactly what was predicted.
Pretty much,
It's
yeah.
not even freezing outside.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay? So who are the idiots across the north, this part of the state that closed school?
Claiborne, Red River, Union, and Natchitoches.
Okay, if you're listening there, I apologize for the idiot remark.
They're different. To the east of us, they got a little bit.
You know where? No, east of Monroe.
Well, yeah.
East of Monroe was where they got a light dusting. But you know what the temperature is there?
What?
34.
Oh, man.
Look at me. This is exactly what the weather guy we had. And she goes, do we want to call the weather? No. About what?
Nothing happening?
Let's call the weather guy. It's 35 degrees outside. It's not even cold in the scheme of cold.
What happened to us getting to 28?
There's people in this country right now.
They were still saying we were going to be 28.
Who are having wind chills of minus 60 degrees.
I know. You see Minneapolis, minus 60.
Yeah, I just said that.
We have somebody who moved to Minnesota.
An hour from there.
From here.
This is her first week there.
Her first week there, she gets there, it's minus 60.
Yeah.
I would love to talk to her this morning. God bless her soul. Come down here where it's 70. 2 days later, you're at minus 60. What's the difference? That's 130 degree
Well, it's not
temperature
minus
change.
60 below zero. The wind chill is minus 60. The temperature is not minus 60.
Man.
Do you know what the lowest temperature of all time in Louisiana is? Do you have any idea when it was or where it took place?
Minus 5 or something like that.
Not even close.
Really?
Yeah.
Colder?
Uh-huh.
Minus 10.
Yeah, colder.
No.
Yep.
Minus 20?
Record low. History of Louisiana. Minus 16.
When and where?
1899. Minden, Louisiana.
Minden.
Yep.
Minus 16.
Minus 16.
So we're due.
What month was it? You remember what month? Was it like January 29th?
It's 35 degrees. You have to stop it.
They were predicting 28. We all know that.
Hold on. To be fair, it is not 35 degrees. It has dropped
Yes.
to 34 degrees.
Oh, I'm sorry.
My truck said 33.
Yeah. You know what that's called? Above freezing.
We're hovering.
You mope.
We're doing like I do over a toilet. We're hovering.
It's not going. There's nothing happening.
No, there's no winter precip.
Schools are open.
Almost all. Not all.
Who closed?
We just went through this.
But they're not near here. They may as well.
Natchitoches,
That's
Red River,
75 miles away.
Claiborne, and Union. That's not.
They made a tragic error, and they would
did.
admit it if you got them on the phone.
They did.
They freaked out.
Yeah. They should have waited. The rest of them waited.
Wait for what? This was predicted.
For this morning.
This was,
No, this was not. We were predicted to be 28 degrees.
But there was never.
But there was rain last night, and it could have iced up the bridges.
What are you talking
The
about?
water that fell last night could have iced up. They were smart.
We talked to the Weather Channel guy yesterday. When we talked to the Weather Service guy, didn't you listen to him? Jason Hans?
He said we could have some of the precip could freeze up.
Jason's like, really? We're probably going to be fine, but this could happen. Aaron went with the worst case doomsday scenario.
You're like Al Gore, man, bear, pig, McCarty.
Man, bear, pig, guys.
You're killing me down there. I want to go to break now so I can take off my shoes, remove the shoelace from the eyelets,
and strangle me.
Choke you to death.
Do you hear this? Any police officer? He's threatening to choke me with his shoelaces.
You're threatening to freeze me to death. The only difference is my threat is real.
Did you hear that? That's a threat of violence. I want him cuffed.
The police have more pressing issues to deal with this morning.
Yeah, dragging everybody out of the snowbanks.
Out of the ditches, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Sliding off the roads.
So what's on the agenda for today? I know we have to talk about people are becoming aware of the garbage proposal. It's finally,
it's getting
the
there.
light is starting to go on.
It's getting
People
there.
are starting to pay attention. I can just tell.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're still filled with misinformation,
right?
And we'll get to that. I have so much of it this morning. I hardly know where to begin,
Mm-hmm.
and so much of it is this gross misinformation. The thing about Adrian, Mayor Perkins, and the 900 policemen and the ex-Mossad agents and the guys with the Kung Fu stars driving him to work every morning on a helicopter is still out there.
Right.
There's just the degree of misinformation. Look, you just saw it in those poor kids from Covington, Kentucky. Mm-hmm. You know, it's social media. That's why I'm not on Twitter. It's a sewer, and it's. We'll get to this in the as the morning progresses. But there is just so much misinformation. I don't want to get into the security details,
right?
But just about the garbage fee proposal.
Can I ask you something when we come back?
Ask me now, and I'll give me a second to think about it.
I'm thinking about.
I got to get my pulse back down under 170.
Yeah, you need to.
Put my shoes back on.
I'm thinking about all these doomsday prepper people.
Yeah.
And I wonder if I could be in that club. I wonder if I could do that.
When you say that, we'll talk about it when we get back.
Okay.
I am intrigued. What, you're going to build a shelter?
I'm thinking, yeah.
Well, she can't build a snowman, so I guess a shelter is a good second choice.
That was excellent. 19 past 6 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. I'm going to take a couple of deep breaths. I'll be fine. It's not working. Traffic update. Here's Ruben.
Everything's still looking pretty clear for your early morning drive to work or school, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on Barksdale Boulevard near Hamilton Road in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Well, the worst of the cold will stay off to our north. We are going to look at sunshine. Chilly temperatures compared to yesterday, 46. Cloudy tonight, low 32. Clouds open the door for partly cloudy skies tomorrow, 53. Thursday, few clouds during the day, highs near 60. Richard Wettigan, the Weather Channel.
Could the Super Bowl be canceled because of snow?
Oh, no. It might.
I'm just kidding. 20 past 6 o'clock. Here's Fletch on Keel.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. New Orleans Pelicans star Anthony Davis and his agent have requested that the team trade him because Davis's agent, Rich Paul, said that Davis will not sign an extension with the team this summer and will not be playing for them if he sticks around for his free agency year in 2020. The Pelicans have asked the NBA to look into the request as a tampering move, and the NBA is saying, yeah, it very well could be, and if so, Davis could face a fine. Both Paul, the Pelicans, and Davis, though, don't seem to be in any kind of hurry to get this done before the NBA's trade deadline of February 7th. Most people expect Davis to be on the Pelicans roster through the rest of the season and get moved after July 1st. In the SEC, there's a pretty good slate of games tonight. Georgia visits Arkansas. All the ranked teams are on the road. Top-ranked Tennessee and South Carolina. 22nd-ranked Mississippi State, Alabama, and Kentucky visits Vanderbilt. 7th-ranked Wildcats take on Vanderbilt in that crazy little gymnasium. Also in the NBA last night, the Denver Nuggets overcame a 25-point deficit before last night. NBA teams were 174-0 when they had a 25-point lead in the second half. Well, the Grizzlies couldn't hang on. They lose to Denver 95-92. Former Louisiana Tech star Paul Millsap had 4 points and 5 rebounds for the Nuggets. And class of 2037, 5-star quarterback Fletcher Andrew Moss was introduced to the world yesterday. There's a shot that LSU and Arkansas could be bidding for his services 18 years down the road. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
What has gotten into your head all of a sudden?
Well, I was worried about this ice and being holed up in my house, and I thought, do I have enough stuff?
101.7 FM, 710 Keel, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty.
If I were to get stranded, do I have enough stuff in the house to take care of a couple of days?
Now, are we speaking seriously, or are we speaking just sort of tongue-in-cheek?
Well, it was brought up because there's a home on the market that was a doomsday prepper home. It's a castle in the middle of the desert in Nevada. It's 8,000 square feet.
So wait,
it's got a 16-inch thick concrete wall around it.
Yeah.
Self-sustained energy system, and it's for sale.
What does that mean? I mean, what does
it's
it run
got the solar energy system.
Well, you're in the desert. Odds are in your favor.
It's $900,000. It's 8,000 square feet. It's 4 stories, and it's completely off the grid.
Evidently not. It's for sale, and it's online.
Well, it's for sale now, yeah.
Okay.
So it's on, and I thought, what all do you have to
Trust
have?
me on this.
If you're off the grid.
Unless you're Bob Lee, what's his name? What was his name in Shooter?
Swagger.
Bob Lee Swagger. Unless you're Mark Wahlberg's character in Shooter, you're not off the grid. Nobody's off the grid.
And I get to
if
thinking,
you have an email or a cell phone.
Could I live off the grid?
No.
There's no chance.
We've discussed this before.
Well, it's even gotten worse because she's discovered the joys of self-driving cars.
Yeah, you don't have a vehicle up there, do you? Does your car go with you? Yeah, you could take like a Jeep or something.
How far?
Some off-road vehicle.
How much gasoline are you going to take with you?
You got to take gas.
Okay, so how do you get the gas there?
Well, you'd have to have a solar-powered car.
No, wait. Okay, so now Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
You'd have to have something like that.
Okay,
you'd have to have something that would be.
No, wait a second. Let's not talk sci-fi. Okay, let's talk things that exist. Let's say you've decided...
There are solar-powered cars.
Let's say that Erin McCarty decides that the world is doomed, that the electromagnetic pulse attack is right around the corner,
right?
As do a lot of people in our government. Ask people who work here. We won't get into that.
Right.
But the point being is, what would you do to prepare for let's say that all the lights went out.
And the zombies are coming.
Everything electric in your home and in society breaks down for 30 to 45 days.
So no microwave, no oven.
You have no heat. You have no light. You have nothing for 30 to 45 days.
Okay, I've got batteries. They'll still work.
Okay. So
I've got candles.
So what you going to do to stay warm?
I've got a lot of blankies. I've got a fireplace. I could build a wood fire. I've got a fire pit on my patio if need be.
So how much wood you got at your house?
I don't have enough. No, I don't have enough. But I'm amazed.
Wait. Stop.
I could chop some trees down.
Okay, you and everybody else. Okay?
Yeah.
Remember now, everybody is going to want the same things you want.
Right.
So your chance, given, let me be blunt, given your age and physical condition, your chance of walking to the grocery store and out fighting whoever is there for the last can of green beans or ravioli is pretty slim. So what are you doing now, if this is a legitimate concern, what are you doing now to prepare for, say, 30 days of self-sustenance?
Well, I have.
And do you think it's important?
The preppers say you should have a year's supply of food. A year. The top items they say you should have: a countertop water filtration system, a food dehydrator, a crossbow. That's not happening. I'm taking the gun.
How many
solar generator kit.
Right now, how many rounds of ammunition do you have in your home?
Ooh, I don't know.
Because I know I have friends of mine who
2 boxes, however many
who you
in a
could
box.
call semi-preppers. And they have between close to 10,000 rounds of ammunition.
Yeah. You're also supposed to have a portable solar cooker. I didn't know that existed, where you can cook food based on sunlight.
It's a lot of money in Armageddon.
All kinds of other stuff you should have: chlorine tablets, charcoal tablets, baking soda. Apparently, you're supposed to have a lot of that around.
Let's not go off the deep here.
I think you know what I'm going to really do.
Let's not go off the deep end here, Noah. Okay, let's not build an ark.
Yeah.
Let's plan for at least, say, 30 days.
Okay, in case we have another ice storm.
So let's just assume that there was, God forbid, an EMP attack. Let's
Okay.
say that all the electricity went out for 30 days.
How much food do I have at the house?
Let's start with water. You need 6 bottles of water a day. That's
I only
100.
have 4 gallons.
Do you have 80 bottles of water at your house?
I have 4 gallons.
I'm sorry, yeah, 180.
No, I don't have enough water.
Okay. That's easy to do. You buy, those little things of 32
Yeah.
of the Kroger water? You just get 1 extra
Okay.
every time you go for about a month. Okay? So now you've taken care of water. You put it up in your closet.
I've got about a month of food probably.
Do
Canned
you?
goods, yeah. I don't have a lot of protein, but I have beans and that sort of thing.
Okay, so what are you going to do?
I think I'm okay food-wise.
Ravioli, Dinty Moore. Remember now, in the brave new world, he who has the manual can opener is God.
Got 2 of those.
Okay.
Got 2 of those. I'm good on that. I don't even have an electric one. I've got a manual.
So
I
what
like
would you
'em.
eat in all seriousness?
I
I find this conversation fascinating, by
I
the
know.
way.
I
I have it
have
with friends all the
beans.
time.
I have beans.
Protein?
I have rice.
No, you can't cook. Well, you might be able to cook, but I wouldn't plan on it.
Yeah, I have.
Imagine now, okay? You don't have a generator at your house.
No.
No power, no
I
electricity.
have some chili.
Imagine going 30 days with no electricity. What are you going to do?
Ooh.
Are you ready for that?
I can cook over my pit.
No. Let's just assume you don't.
Okay. But I could if I had to. I have a fire pit outside, and I could cook over that if I had to. But I have enough food, I think, in the pantry for me, not for my son and his buddy.
Mr. 8,000 calories a day.
Yeah. I need to reevaluate
I mean, look,
that.
look,
Well, the plan is, and to be honest, I've had a talk with a friend of mine who is a prepper.
You mean
And
they
the-
have a year of food?
Oh yeah,
You mean they order like all the dried stuff?
Oh, they have all that stuff.
From
they
Jim
have the
Baker.
freeze dried stuff and all that.
No, Jim Baker is selling. Jim Baker, the TV evangelist. He's in the prepper business.
We
No.
were in discussions of that I would just come to his house, and
Okay, remember, how far does he live from you?
he lives about 3 miles.
Are you up for a 3-mile walk?
I can get over there.
Are you?
Yeah, I can get over
Are
there.
you up for a 3-mile walk with people who may not be in
Want
the best
what I
mood?
have? Yeah, I can do that. I can walk with my gun if I have to.
Okay.
My son will be with me, but this prepper friend of mine wasn't 100% sure he was going to let me in, so I think I need to iron that out.
You probably
ahead
should,
of time.
You probably should find somebody who can count on a little bit more.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, I need.
Because
I need
remember,
to.
everybody's going to want to know where you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me hearken back to this, okay? You are not of the age or the physical condition where you're going to be able to out-wrestle anybody for anything.
But I think if I brought a 25-year-old former Marine with me,
yeah.
that a prepper would welcome having that person there, because that person can do a lot of work,
One
heavy
more
lifting.
mouth to feed if you're already prepped.
Yeah, but he can
probably
also
not.
do a lot of help.
1017 FM, 710 Keel, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty, $18 a month. No.
Ooh.
It's, what did he say? What did Adrian? It's a work in progress.
You bet.
Details on the way. Local news is next. Here's Ruben.
Everything's still looking pretty clear for your early morning drive to work or school, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on Barksdale Boulevard near Hamilton Road in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Now, the worst of the cold will stay off to our north. We are going to look at sunshine. Chilly temperatures compared to yesterday, 46. Cloudy tonight, low 32. Clouds open the door for partly cloudy skies tomorrow, 53. Thursday, few clouds during the day, highs near 60. Richard Wettig, the Weather Channel.
of information. KEEL News now.
Absolutely frigid out there right now. State climatologist Barry Kime says some parts of the state could be in for below freezing temps today, and the rest of the state won't be too much warmer than that.
Temperatures this morning are mostly in the 30s across Louisiana, with some upper 20s across northern parishes of the state, basically the area north of the I-20 corridor, Shreveport and Monroe.
But it's not as cold as we expected, and the winter precip hasn't happened. Most youngsters do report to class as scheduled today. More controversy at Shreveport Police. Matt Parker has that.
A lieutenant is questioning Substitute Police Chief Ben Raymond's hiring practices. Lieutenant Colette Kelly has asked the Civil Service Board to investigate Raymond's choice of Lieutenant Janet Daly as his interim deputy chief. Kelly says that the position was never posted and that she has more experience and is more qualified than Daly. The board stopped Daly's move to her new spot while they investigate Kelly's claims. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
Embattled Shreveport vet arrested. Jamie Wise, a Shreveport veterinarian who's been under investigation by the DEA, has been arrested. She surrendered to Caddo deputies Monday. Following the investigation by the DEA and the sheriff's office, Wise is being charged with failure to keep records and misuse of controlled drugs. Last year, the DEA pulled Wise's license to distribute CDS drugs after a whistleblower claimed Wise and a friend were using the drugs themselves. More delays and anger over medical marijuana. Patients growing increasingly frustrated with the delays related to medical marijuana in Louisiana. The medical-grade pot was supposed to be on the market by the end of January. Now officials say it may be closer to the end of summer. Many believe excessive testing and administrative problems with the state ag department are to blame. 4 Houston police officers shot, another hurt while trying to serve a search warrant.
4 Houston police officers shot serving a search warrant at a home that police describe as a hub for drug dealers. Police adding that a tip from a neighbor led officers there, but when they arrived, they immediately came under fire. Police eventually shooting and killing 2 suspects. Right now, one of those officers has been released from the hospital with a gunshot to the shoulder, but 2 officers are in critical condition with gunshots to the neck. The police union leader with tough talk for those who attack cops.
A group of about a dozen officers with Houston PD's narcotics unit were trying to serve the warrant when they forced open the home's front door and immediately faced gunfire. The LSU Board of Supervisors approves a new pricing structure for football and baseball. LSU ticket manager Brian Broussard says in Tiger Stadium, they've identified the areas that consumers are willing to take on the bigger price tag.
We are increasing some of those areas by 4 to 12%, and we are lowering or having no change to approximately 24,000 tickets, as well as student tickets are not increasing.
Broussard says prices will not be increasing for the students. In fact, in some areas, they might actually see a cost savings. The cost of a Forever stamp is up 10% from 50 cents to 55 cents as the U.S. Postal Service continues to struggle financially. The price increase, the largest since 1991, took effect on Sunday. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Are you happy? .101.7 FM, 710 KEEL, Robert and Erin. How close did, or was it ever even considered? Because, you know, in Caddo Parish,
historically, not so much in Bossier. We do have a history of jumping the gun.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said yesterday, tongue-in-cheek, if it rains, if it snows in Oklahoma, we close schools here.
Yeah.
Well, schools are open here this morning, and frankly speaking, I'm surprised. Despite the fact it's about 34 degrees, and there's it didn't even rain last night after like 8 or 8:30.
Yeah, the rain ended by 9. So.
When it was still about 45 or 50 degrees.
Mm-hmm. There are some school systems closed: Claiborne, Natchitoches, Red River, and Union.
Yeah.
And then the following statements were issued by Caddo Bossier. Kind of similar. Parents and students, based on the information we have, Bossier schools will be in session as normal. The district's been in close communication with the National Weather Service and the Office of Homeland Security. As a precaution, Bossier Sheriff's deputies will be monitoring bridges, roads, and overpasses. Same sort of thing from Caddo schools. We're continuously monitoring winter weather conditions and remain in contact with the National Weather Service, Homeland Security.
Pardon me.
All schools and sites will be open.
There are no winter weather conditions. There are none.
There was a concern there could have been.
Okay, but when? The guy from the Weather Service, Jason Rinsenfams, we had on yesterday, he said nothing's going to happen.
He said it's going to be 28, and if we have some of the rain still on the roads, it could ice up the bridges.
The only ice on Caddo Parish roads this morning is where somebody spilled their beer last night on the way home.
Sorry about that.
It's 32. That counts as winter weather, right?
Yeah.
Good Lord.
That's freezing.
Yeah, okay.
It's cold out there.
Yeah, we should shut down the schools.
I think we should shut down the radio stations.
The air conditioner is on.
I am fascinated. Like I said, my head's going to explode.
I know.
And you're the one.
I'm the reason.
With the firing pin. 639, 1017 FM, 710 KEEL. I hadn't planned to talk about this, but I found something on Facebook earlier this morning that makes me inclined to counter myself. What didn't I want to talk about? So what are we going to talk about? It has to do with Mayor Perkins. 1017 FM, 710 KEEL. Traffic update now. Here's Ruben.
Everything's looking nice and clear for your early morning drive to work or school, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on Line Avenue near Monrovia Street due to construction. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Now, the worst of the cold will stay off to our north. We are going to look at sunshine. Chilly temperatures compared to yesterday, 46. Cloudy tonight, low 32. Clouds open the door for partly cloudy skies tomorrow, 53. Thursday, few clouds during the day, highs near 60. Richard Wettigan, the Weather Channel.
.117 FM, 710 KEEL, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty, Jack Spring Electric Shockbuster button. Always at the ready. The point I'm making here is that usually it's Erin we got to worry about.
Yeah, you might need it today.
Well, yeah, but if something should happen, that would cause me to say something that would cause cause us to have to use said Jack Spring electric shockbuster button, it would be your fault because you made me nuts.
You're probably right.
Speaking of making me nuts, okay, we had Mayor Perkins on last week, and there were all these rumors and all these stories on social media, Facebook and other things going around.
He had an armored car,
and he had and that was legit. Actually, it was the bulletproof glass, and the 4 cops, and they were armed all the time and
traveling to a
plainclothes.
Superdome with him and all
I
that.
had said, like former Mossad agents with kung fu stars.
Yeah.
And I thought, for the most part, we had put that to rest. But I saw this a little while ago. If Shreveport police can't get around tomorrow because of the snow and sleet, who will pick up the mayor for work?
Oh, boy.
Do you think they'll send a snow plow for him? It's what I said to Adrian last week in the interview. I said, look, you're going to be mayor for 4 years. There's going to be a lot of things you and I are going to agree on, and disagree on. I said, but this just cut out, coming out of nowhere, story about. Well, in fact, you brought it up with him, right?
Yeah, he traveled to the National Conference of Mayors,
United States Mayors Conference, and he was in D.C. and we talked to him last week. And here's how the question came up:
Did you bring armed guards with you to D.C.?
I'm so happy you mentioned that. And in the city council meeting, Willie Bradford mentioned the story that was run as well. So, no. I said in the city council meeting, nobody knows me outside of Shreveport. I don't have a statewide profile. I don't have a national profile. So, no. And nobody picks me up from home or any of that stuff. We use, security far less than previous administrations. And the only time we really use it is, at pretty big events when people get kind of, start pulling and tugging on me and pushing family members out of the way and stuff like that.
Okay, so you had made the point when all these rumors started surfacing a couple of weeks ago. You actually got on the phone or started texting former mayors. Well, let's start with Mayor Tyler, because at one point where being a 72-year-old woman, I kind of get where she might want to have a police officer with her most of the time.
Sure.
What percentage of the time? Did she all the time?
Pretty much all the time, yeah.
Now, when she was Mayor Parkey, you had pointed this out that sometimes on the morning she was going to come in here and talk to us, there would be sort of somebody come in ahead of her, right?
Yeah, there would be an officer that would come in, check out the premises, and then when Miss Tyler would show up with her actual escort, then they would come in and the other fellow would leave.
Okay. Now, you also talked to former mayors Glover and Hightower. What did they tell you about their security when they were mayors?
Hightower said no. He didn't have a driver. He didn't have security. Glover said he had security only after getting some death threats. And that came, the busiest time for that was after President Obama was elected. He got a couple of death threats. And so he had security then. He said he really felt more scared or fearful. He didn't say fearful, but during the years when he was on the city council, when he would call out crack houses, he would say, "Hey, I want y'all to go check out this house."
He said he was more concerned about retaliation from bluntly speaking, gang members than he was at any point during his 2 terms as mayor.
Now, he did say that, though he didn't take security with him, he was keenly aware of, at big events like the Independence Bowl or, things like that, that the officers who were there would keep an eye on him and, would keep an eye on him. Now, there's a little difference in how Mayor Tyler and Mayor Perkins handle the security. While Mayor Tyler had 1 or 2 different guys that were kind of assigned to her, Perkins has like 4 people kind of on a rotation.
One at a time.
Yeah, and they're not just hanging out at the mayor's office. They're called as needed, and if it's it's your shift, well, you go. You come off of what your regular police duties are, and you go with the mayor to such and such an event until it's done, and then you go back to your duties. So they're not like assigned to the mayor full time. They come and go as needed. That's what I was told by his communications folks.
So I fully anticipate we'll be reading more rumors about the
yeah. And we also
the last
this morning,
of the ninjas protecting the mayor later today.
We also this morning have to talk about, because I would say, Matt, would you say this is kind of the first blip in the road for Chief Raymond.
I don't even
Blip
know
in the road?
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay.
Pretty big controversy on another front for Chief Raymond. We got to talk
also,
about
I
that.
think we need to, as the 7 o'clock hour starts, we need to start canvassing, because you have all their numbers. Start taking a poll of city council people, because I'd kind of like to know where they stand on the garbage fee.
Yeah, 2 weeks from today, they could vote.
Fleury, Green, Butcher, Nicholson, Fuller, Bradford, and Bowman. Why don't you shoot them all texts? Because, look, we still have to go through at the next open session, which is a couple weeks away. It's the amendment process.
Oh, it's going to be so chock full of them.
Still have to go through that before they ever get to a final vote, etc. So I'd kind of like to get in touch with them, at least via text or email or something through the morning, and kind of see where they are and what their ideas are, and we can pass that along to folks. 649, 1017 FM, 710 Keel traffic update. Yeah, traffic update now. Here's Ruben.
Everything's still looking pretty clear for your early morning drive to work or school, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on Barksdale Boulevard near Hamilton Road in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Now, the worst of the cold will stay off to our north. We are going to look at sunshine. Chilly temperatures compared to yesterday, 46. Cloudy tonight, low 32. Clouds open the door for partly cloudy skies tomorrow, 53. Thursday, few clouds during the day, highs near 60. We're Richard Wettigan, the Weather Channel.
.117 FM, 710 Keel, Granddaddy Fletch.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. New Orleans Pelicans star Anthony Davis and his agent have requested that the team trade him because Davis's agent, Rich Paul, said that Davis will not sign an extension with the team this summer and will not be playing for them if he sticks around for his free agency year in 2020. The Pelicans have asked the NBA to look into the request as a tampering move, and the NBA is saying, yeah, it very well could be, and if so, Davis could face a fine. Both Paul, the Pelicans, and Davis, though, don't seem to be in any kind of hurry to get this done before the NBA's trade deadline of February 7th. Most people expect Davis to be on the Pelicans roster through the rest of the season and get moved after July 1st. In the SEC, there's a pretty good slate of games tonight. Georgia visits Arkansas. All the ranked teams are on the road. Top-ranked Tennessee at South Carolina. 22nd-ranked Mississippi State's at Alabama. And Kentucky visits Vanderbilt. 7th-ranked Wildcats take on Vanderbilt in that crazy little gymnasium. Also in the NBA last night, the Denver Nuggets overcame a 25-point deficit before last night. NBA teams were 174-0 when they had a 25-point lead in the second half. Well, the Grizzlies couldn't hang on. They lose to Denver 95-92. Former Louisiana Tech star Paul Millsap had 4 points and 5 rebounds for the Nuggets. And class of 2037, five-star quarterback Fletcher Andrew Moss was introduced to the world yesterday. There's a shot that LSU and Arkansas could be bidding for his services 18 years down the road. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
.101.7 FM, 710 Keel, Robert J. Wright, and Erin McCarty. Did you start sending texts to council people yet?
Not yet, but I'm getting ready to.
Okay. I really want to know where they stand and what their ideas are.
Are they leaning toward a lower amount? Are they against it altogether?
People are finally starting to catch on to the mayor's proposal. And it's just, I also will be interested to know what the city council people are hearing from their constituents.
Mm-hmm. The mayor's proposing an $18 monthly garbage fee.
Because the sense I get from most of the council people that we talked to last week is they seem to have a sense and
understanding
that they're going to have to come up with something.
Mm-hmm.
That the status quo just won't work anymore.
I noticed that the pickup changed a little bit yesterday for me. Usually you can put pretty much anything out there. They didn't pick it up yesterday.
Let me ask you something, and we need to talk about this too because it sort of is a spin-off of my garbage socialism thoughts. I'm going to talk about that in the 7 o'clock hour too. How often do you put your can down at the curb?
Once a week.
Now, do you have to move your can for them to pick it up, or is it in a position where they get it automatically?
They get it automatically, however I put it.
See, it occurs to me. We'll talk about this after 7 o'clock. What I'm thinking is maybe they shouldn't pick up your stuff unless it's full. And maybe you should be charged every time they dump your can. I'll explain what I mean because they do this in a lot of cities. They put up a chip, a digital chip on the... I'll talk about it later.
Okay.
Sorry, we got to go. Here's Rush on Keel.
Last week, the United Nations released a survey of its employees, and it was not flattering. 1 in 3 workers at the UN say that they have been sexually harassed in the last 2 years. This harassment includes sexual jokes, offensive remarks about appearance, and unwelcome sexual conversations. The highest rate of harassment was reported by UN employees identifying as lesbian, gay, and queer. They call themselves that. Don't jump on me. LGQ. You know the drill. Now, the UN isn't the only so-called humanitarian group with problems. Employees say the World Health Organization has tolerated racism, bias, and financial misconduct. The World Health Organization is looking into it. A survey of employees at the joint UN program on HIV and AIDS found widespread complaints of sexual harassment and bullying. Now, this sounds like a crisis to me. Liberals, social justice warriors, and other humanitarians are sexually harassing other liberals. Lesbians, gays, and queers, they said it, not me, are hardest hit. I just want to know how long this bad behavior will be permitted. I want to know, how does it happen? I thought these people are perfect and they never did things like this. I thought it was only us. Why And how is this happening? Did you know that there is a new victim of identity theft every 2 seconds? It means a criminal could be spending your money, applying for loans in your name, and even damaging your good credit, all without you even knowing. It's a good thing there's LifeLock identity theft protection. LifeLock uses proprietary technology to detect and alert you to a wide range of identity threats, like your social security number for sale on the dark web. And if you do have an issue involving identity theft, one of LifeLock's identity restoration specialists is going to work with you to fix it. Now, no one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but with LifeLock, you get identity theft protection and additional features to help protect your devices against cyber threats for as low as $9.99 a month. Go to lifelock.com or call 800-440-4833. Use the promo code RUSH for 10% off your first year. It's lifelock.com. And don't forget the name RUSH as the promo code for 10% off your first year.
Keeping an eye right now on a minor accident on 3132 westbound near West 70th Street. And we have some traffic delays on East Texas Street near Old Minden Road in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
1017 FM, 710 Keel. Weather Channel forecast. Sunny, a little chilly today, low to middle 40s. Right now, 32 at Keel, 7 o'clock, Fox News.
Breaking news and trending talk. KEEL, 710 AM and K269GO, 1017 FM, Shreveport.
I honestly think about 1,000 rounds of ammunition will be more than you need.
You think so?
101.7 FM, 710 Keel, just after 7 o'clock. Robert and Erin. She has local news coming up next.
It is a cold morning out there, but no winter precip. We'll have an update on that. The police chief having a little bit of a problem, a little blimp in the radar today. We'll talk about that too. And a local veterinarian is arrested.
What's going on with the $18 a month garbage fee proposal? We'll bring you guys up to date, trying to get hold of the council people as the morning rolls on. Yeah, Erin wants to talk to a weather guy about something that didn't happen that they said wasn't going to happen. She's making me nuts. I
love this.
It's yeah.
Me making you nuts.
Or you're taking years off my life.
I'm happy.
Didn't have that many left to begin with. Fletcher has sports, traffic, and weather. It's all coming up this hour on KEEL.
KEEL Morning Report, now on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
A bitterly cold morning. State climatologist Barry Keim says some areas are seeing temps in the upper 20s to low 30s today, but it could be even worse tomorrow.
By tomorrow morning, that cold air is just going to keep on coming, and we're going to likely to have temperatures down into the upper 20s to low 30s across the entire state of Louisiana. So it's going to be a very, very brisk day.
But it's not as cold as we expected, and the winter precip hasn't really happened across our region. Most youngsters do report to class as scheduled today. More controversy at SPD, a lieutenant questioning Substitute Chief Ben Raymond's hiring practices. Lieutenant Colette Kelly has asked the Civil Service Board to investigate Raymond's choice of Lieutenant Janet Daly as his interim deputy chief. Kelly says the position was never posted and that she has more experience and is more qualified than Daly. The board stopped Daly's move to the new position while they investigate Kelly's claims. An embattled Shreveport vet arrested. Matt Parker has the latest.
Jamie Wise, a Shreveport veterinarian who's been under investigation by the DEA, has been arrested. Wise surrendered to the Caddo Sheriff's Department on Monday. Following an investigation from the DEA and Sheriff's Office, Wise is being charged with failure to keep records and misuse of controlled drugs. Last year, the DEA pulled Wise's license to distribute CDS drugs after a whistleblower claimed that Wise and a friend were using the drugs themselves. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
Patients growing increasingly frustrated with the delays related to medical marijuana. The medical-grade pot was supposed to be on the market by the end of this month. Now officials are saying it may be closer to the end of summer. Many believe excessive testing and administrative problems with the state ag department are to blame. 2 suspects dead after a shooting Monday that left 5 Houston police officers hurt. 4 were hit by gunfire as they tried to serve a search warrant at a home where drug selling was suspected. 2 of the officers are in critical condition. Alzheimer's sufferers potentially have some great news out of LSU Health New Orleans. A patient who underwent hyperbaric oxygen therapy showed a big improvement in their mental and physical faculties. Director of the medicine, Dr. Paul Hart, says the patient reported increasing quality of life, and a brain scan showed a 38% increase in brain metabolism after undergoing the therapy.
The largest sets of genes that get turned on with this therapy are the growth and repair hormone genes that grow new tissue and the anti-inflammatory genes.
The patient was a 58-year-old woman who had experienced 5 years of cognitive decline. Now that private schools can hold state championship games at sites separate from public schools, it's up to LHSAA leadership to make it work. The significant change goes into effect for the 2019-2020 season. Executive Director Eddie Bonine says the details have yet to be worked out, though.
A lot of little moving targets here, but we're going to hit the ground running and do what we can to see where we're going to go with this.
LHSAA principals voted to give select schools the authority to choose where their championship games would be held. How's this for a bargain? Or maybe not. A 4-story, 8,000 square foot castle in the middle of the Nevada desert. It's an off-the-grid doomsday prepper home up for sale. The price tag, $900,000. The home has 16-inch thick concrete walls and self-sustained energy systems. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Nine past 7 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Ruben's here.
Still keeping a close eye on that minor accident on 3132 westbound near West 70th Street. And we have some traffic delays on North Market near North Hearn Avenue. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Now, the worst of the cold will stay off to our north. We are going to look at sunshine. Chilly temperatures compared to yesterday, 46. Cloudy tonight, low 32. Clouds open the door for partly cloudy skies tomorrow, 53. Thursday, few clouds during the day, highs near 60. Richard Wettig, the Weather Channel.
I need like a Midol or something.
I can get you one if you want.
I was talking to Matt.
I can't help you there, pal. But I agree.
Just very edgy. I'm very irritable today, and I think it's 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. KEEL app, a free download from Office Furniture Source. I came in this morning, and you got on my nerves right away.
I love that.
Talking about like, oh man. Oh, we got to get the weather guys on the phone to talk about the storm.
Mm-hmm.
So there was no storm. There was no storm. It's 34 degrees this morning. It's not even freezing. Schools are open. There was, when at my house it rained. You know where I was at the height of the rain last night? I was in a pair of running shorts getting a salad at Whole Foods, and my sunroof was open. It was about 55 degrees. It was a beautiful night.
Mm-hmm.
And then the temp dropped.
It started plummeting.
Not down into the teens.
To the deep freeze.
Like you thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Schools are going to be closed. We've got to get the weather guy back on. You're making me nuts. And it's carrying over to poor Matt over there eating his famous Amos cookies. The crunching is making me crazy. When you say winter pre-sip,
right?
There's just something about the way you say that bugs me.
Mm-hmm.
And then last night I was watching TV on HBO, and there's this comedy special on, and this woman says, everybody needs to pay a tench.
a tinge.
And that
like I'm so jelly.
That made me angry.
Yeah.
I'm just
You're
like,
an angry man.
I'm about a 90-year-old crabby guy this morning.
Yeah.
I was about to say, you're turning into Clint Eastwood from Gran Torino.
I think I am, yeah.
Get off my lawn.
Exactly. Yeah. So you guys might want to tread a little more lightly.
I think you just need some Famous Amos cookies. I'd
Through
share,
the
but they're
course
gone.
of the morning. Yeah, I could hear that. Sounded like ice breaking. Have you texted?
I have. 6 of the 7 I've texted.
Who didn't you text?
James Green. I don't have a cell number, I don't think, for him. I'm going to call him in a minute.
We need to track that down.
Yeah.
I just wanted to do sort of an update on the mayor's $18 garbage proposal. And just see, because the amendment, there's a lot of stuff on social media, and it's most of it's wrong now that people are finally becoming aware of Mayor Perkins' proposal for that $18 monthly fee for anybody that has a water bill. And so they started talking about it, and it took public comments at the council meeting a week or so ago. The next one is the second week of February. The second Tuesday. And Tuesday in February, and they will have like the work session on Monday.
Right.
And then they'll have the open session on Tuesday, and they'll start with the amendments and all that kind of stuff. So here's the point I was going to make.
There will be a herd of amendments.
What is it if you were Queen Erin, as you seem to think you are?
I like that.
And you could, and you're aware of the current state of the sanitation department. You know we're losing workers. We know you know we don't have enough guys working there now,
right?
Because they're going off to Bossier or wherever and getting better jobs for a little more money. Because the privatized companies to the east side of the river pay a little more.
Yep.
And on top of that, you've got trucks breaking down. You've got to keep all the vehicles on the road maintained, etc. And then, as Mayor Perkins said, in your mind, it is of some degree of importance to build back up the rainy day, the city's reserve fund, which in your mind is incredibly low.
Oh, yeah. It's
dangerously low. What would you do? Where do you stand on that right now? Where do you stand on the garbage fee?
I still think we need to find some ways to trim the budget, trim spending, become more efficient. I like the idea of the meter readers using that new photo thing, that app they're going to be using to make sure that all the readings are correct. Fix the water bills.
In Erin's mind, in Queen McCarty's mind, before you start to even take a vote on a garbage fee, $18 a month, $15, $10, whatever it happens to be, would you want the electorate, would you want the citizens of your city to be sure, to know without a shadow of a doubt that the problems at that water department had been cleaned up, that everything was running, that the billing was right?
Before I send another $18 a month to the water department, do I really want to send it to a department that charged someone $100 and some for a home that was vacant for 6 months?
Or undercharged people $1 million over X amount of time?
Right. I just don't understand. I really don't. I fix the problems first, and I know there's urgency.
So
in
that
the
means
bond
right
rating.
now you'd vote no.
I'd vote no. Yeah, I would vote no.
Seriously?
I'm starting to get some replies. One council member, James Flurry, says, I support a $5 fee with a sanitation enterprise fund.
Explain to me, we hear that term all the time. When Michael Corbin, former councilman Michael Corbin, had sent you a couple of texts about this, on this subject, and he said something about an enterprise fund. What exactly does that mean?
An enterprise fund sets money aside that it can only be used for that. You cannot move the money into the general fund and back and forth. So that fee that you charge would go into a sanitation enterprise fund, and that money has to be used for that purpose.
Now, that kind of shoot you in the foot when it comes to the reserve fund, though, wouldn't it?
Well,
or would you have to make allocations? You'd have to codify it.
Well, the money you're using for the sanitation fund that you're pumping from the general fund, you won't have to do anymore. So you can use that money to beef the reserve fund back up with that. And that's kind of the hope of the mayor. And, I would be in favor of starting at a low $5, $8 and then gradually increasing it.
Why? Why increase?
If you need it, if it absolutely is needed, but I want you to show me that it's needed first, that you've scrubbed the budget, that you've got the water billing correct. We're going to find out. Boy, and I'm speaking way out of school here. we're going to find out they're just not reading everybody's meter. I mean, I can look at my meter and see that it hadn't been touched in 3 months. You know what I mean? It's covered with dirt. When you open it up, you can't even see the screen.
There are 88, what was it, the number we got? 88,000 plus.
How do they go to those many meters?
There are 88,000 plus water meters or so in Shreveport.
And if you have one like mine that's covered with dirt and it hadn't been looked, what do? Do you just trust that they're right? That's what you use? If you get a crazy high bill, you'd call and go, y'all need to come check this. And then they'll come check it and they'll scrape off an inch of dirt off of it and go, oh, we hadn't checked. Well, who guessed I owed you this much? Who guessed I owed you this crazy high amount? I'm one of the fortunate ones because they owe me money all the time because I overpay.
You need to bathe more.
Yeah, I do need to bathe more. I need to work on that. Yeah. But I think my bill will change. I don't know. I keep an eye on it. But
so after sending out 6 of the 7 to 6 of the 7
wait, I got another one. Hang on a minute.
Okay, so James Fleury said what again?
James Fleury said he supports a $5 fee with a sanitation enterprise fund.
Okay.
Councilman Willie Bradford says no to $18, hoping to compromise to less than $10. Still have a problem with a one fee for all.
Willie Bradford sounds like me. I have a problem with one. See, we'll talk about this more when we get back. Okay? I have an idea. I have another idea, as I have done research on how how garbage disposal works in different cities across the country. I've got kind of an idea. 19 past 7 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Oh, we got the weather guy next, too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God. How did we survive?
We made it.
19 after 7 o'clock. Here's Ruben.
Keeping an eye right now on a minor accident on 3132 westbound near West 70th Street. And we have some traffic delays on East Texas Street near Old Minden Road in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Well, the worst of the cold will stay off to our north. We are going to look at sunshine. Chilly temperatures compared to yesterday, 46. Cloudy tonight, low 32. Clouds open the door for partly cloudy skies tomorrow, 53. Thursday, few clouds during the day, highs near 60. Richard Wettigan, the Weather Channel.
.17 FM, 710 Keel. Sports update. Here's Tim.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. New Orleans Pelicans star Anthony Davis and his agent have requested that the team trade him because Davis's agent, Rich Paul, said that Davis will not sign an extension with the team this summer and will not be playing for them if he sticks around for his free agency year in 2020. The Pelicans have asked the NBA to look into the request as a tampering move, and the NBA is saying, yeah, it very well could be, and if so, Davis could face a fine. Both Paul, the Pelicans, and Davis, though, don't seem to be in any kind of hurry to get this done before the NBA's trade deadline of February 7th. Most people expect Davis to be on the Pelicans roster through the rest of the season and get moved after July 1st. In the SEC, there's a pretty good slate of games tonight. Georgia visits Arkansas. All the ranked teams are on the road. Top-ranked Tennessee at South Carolina. 22nd-ranked Mississippi State's at Alabama. And Kentucky visits Vanderbilt. 7th-ranked Wildcats take on Vanderbilt in that crazy little gymnasium. Also in the NBA last night, the Denver Nuggets overcame a 25-point deficit before last night NBA teams were 174-0 when they had a 25-point lead in the second half. Well, the Grizzlies couldn't hang on. They lose to Denver 95-92. Former Louisiana Tech star Paul Millsap had 4 points and 5 rebounds for the Nuggets. And class of 2037, five-star quarterback Fletcher Andrew Moss was introduced to the world yesterday. There's a shot that LSU and Arkansas could be bidding for his services 18 years down the road. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
Twenty-five past 7 o'clock. Robert J. Wright, Erin McCarty, 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. KEEL app, a free download from Office Furniture Source. This was your idea, not mine. I mean, I'm sure that Michael Berry at the National Weather Service is an awesome fellow and a top-notch meteorologist.
Absolutely.
Who's going to tell us that nothing happened. It's above freezing, and it's going to be sunny today. Hey, Mr. Michael, welcome to KEEL. How are you this morning?
Good morning, Robert. Yeah, I'll take all the shots this morning.
Listen, we had Jason on yesterday morning, and he said what I heard, but what Erin heard was we're on the verge of an apocalyptic snowstorm. I don't know how she got that from, he said, like it's going to stop raining before it gets below 50, but that's not the point. So tell us what happened last night, what didn't happen, and be sure to underline the fact that Erin's nuts.
Yes, Erin is nice.
Thank you, buddy. Thanks for calling.
He
We'll get
said
back.
nice.
Nice?
Yes, he said Erin is nice.
Thanks for joining us, young man. We got to go. So what happened last night? Why did we avoid this tragic happenstance?
Well, Robert and Erin, it's always a timing game you play with winter precipitation in the Arklatex. It's always a question of will there be enough moisture left in place by the time the cold air gets here to see that transition from rain to snow. And simply what happened last night is the moisture got out of here faster than what we thought it would by the time the cold air got here, so we didn't get the precip.
Was there any place in Louisiana that got any kind of dusting, any kind of snow, any kind of dangerous weather, ice, etc. last night?
There were a few flurries as close as Natchitoches, some more down towards Winfield, some down near Alexandria. Had a couple hours of snow east of Monroe, the closer you got to the river towards Vicksburg. And then you had to really get just east of Vicksburg into Mississippi where you saw the dusting to a half inch of snow mailing on grassy surfaces.
Nothing of any kind of accumulation at all.
Nothing across North Louisiana that we're aware of.
Now we're seeing the state's climatologist saying could be even colder tonight than it was last night. But we don't have any precip in the way. Is that kind of accurate?
Yes, that's correct. Sunny skies today. Those clear skies will remain around us overnight tonight. The winds will drop. That's why we're expecting our coldest temperatures tonight in the middle to upper 20s across all of North Louisiana with a hard freeze.
Wait. Did you hear that hard freeze?
25 degrees
is a hard freeze.
The polar bears will be migrating south. I see it coming now.
But no precip tonight at all.
No precip tonight at all, unfortunately.
Okay.
Explain to everybody in about 30 seconds, if you can. I started to say why it's colder when it's clear and still.
Because we radiate the heat that we see during the day. That radiation escapes back up into space. So that's why we're able to fall lower temperature-wise if the sky is clear and the winds are near calm or calm. If you have wind at night, even though you have clear skies, it tends to keep the atmosphere mixed a little bit, so you would not expect to see as cold a temperature as you would if the winds were calm.
Are you going to be huddling with the local school officials and Homeland Security people?
Pardon me a
no,
second.
They're just doing a conference call. Y'all do that when it's going to be a hard freeze, correct?
20.
Yes, we had a conference call with them yesterday concerning the chances for winter precip. So we will not have another one with them this morning. And really, with there's no winter precipitation in the forecast for at least the next 7 days. In fact, having said that, we will be approaching 70 degrees by late weekend into early next week. So
wait. Now, in terms of us and cold in the rest of the country, am I crazy when I see minus 60 in Minneapolis?
You know, it's funny you say that. I was just looking at current temperatures, and the upper UP of Michigan into northern Minnesota, current temperatures right now are running around minus 25 to minus 27 degrees. But when you factor in the wind chill, the coldest wind chill I see is in extreme northern Minnesota, where it is minus 54 degrees.
Unbelievable. Now that's cold.
So I'll take our 21-degree wind chill here in Shreveport over that any day.
Is that what we are now? It feels like 21 out there?
It feels like 21 at this time, yes.
Well, that's cold.
That's cold.
You bet. I was right all along.
You guys are just, Michael, I apologize to you and Erin both. It's miraculous. Only by the grace of God did the sun come up in Louisiana this morning. Thank you, my friend, for having nothing to work with. You knocked it out of the park. We appreciate it immensely. Thank you so much.
Sure thing. You're welcome.
29 past 7 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL.
I was right.
Yeah, my head's going to
Mea culpa.
Yeah, whatever you say. Traffic update now. Here's Ruben.
Still keeping a close eye on that major accident on Burt Coons Industrial Loop near Pines Road. And we have some backed up traffic on Benton Road just north of Green Acres Boulevard in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Now, the worst of the cold will stay off to our north. We are going to look at sunshine. Chilly temperatures compared to yesterday, 46. Cloudy tonight, low 32. Clouds open the door for partly cloudy skies tomorrow, 53. Thursday, few clouds during the day, highs near 60. Richard Wettigan, the Weather Channel.
Of information. KEEL News now.
Absolutely frigid out there right now. State climatologist Barry Kime says some parts of the state could be in for below freezing temps today, and the rest of the state won't be too much warmer than that.
Temperatures this morning are mostly in the 30s across Louisiana, with some upper 20s across northern parishes of the state, basically the area north of the I-20 corridor, Shreveport and Monroe.
But it's not as cold as we expected, and the winter precip hasn't happened. Most youngsters do report to class as scheduled today. More controversy at Shreveport Police. Matt Parker has that.
A lieutenant is questioning Substitute Police Chief Ben Raymond's hiring practices. Lieutenant Colette Kelly has asked the Civil Service Board to investigate Raymond's choice of Lieutenant Janet Daly as his interim deputy chief. Kelly says that the position was never posted and that she has more experience and is more qualified than Daly. The board stopped Daly's move to her new spot while they investigate Kelly's claims. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
Embattled Shreveport vet arrested. Jamie Wise, a Shreveport veterinarian who's been under investigation by the DEA, has been arrested. She surrendered to Caddo deputies Monday. Following the investigation by the DEA and the sheriff's office, Wise is being charged with failure to keep records and misuse of controlled drugs. Last year, the DEA pulled Wise's license to distribute CDS drugs after a whistleblower claimed Wise and a friend were using the drugs themselves. More delays and anger over medical marijuana. Patients growing increasingly frustrated with the delays related to medical marijuana in Louisiana. The medical-grade pot was supposed to be on the market by the end of January. Now officials say it may be closer to the end of summer. Many believe excessive testing and administrative problems with the state ag department are to blame. 4 Houston police officers shot, another hurt while trying to serve a search warrant.
4 Houston police officers shot serving a search warrant at a home that police describe as a hub for drug dealers. Police adding that a tip from a neighbor led officers there, but when they arrived, they immediately came under fire. Police eventually shooting and killing 2 suspects. Right now, one of those officers has been released from the hospital with a gunshot to the shoulder, but 2 officers are in critical condition with gunshots to the neck. The police union leader with tough talk for those who attack cops.
A group of about a dozen officers with Houston PD's narcotics unit were trying to serve the warrant when they forced open the home's front door and immediately faced gunfire. The LSU Board of Supervisors approves a new pricing structure for football and baseball. LSU ticket manager Brian Broussard says in Tiger Stadium, they've identified the areas that consumers are willing to take on the bigger price tag.
We are increasing some of those areas by 4 to 12%, and we are lowering or having no change to approximately 24,000 tickets, as well as student tickets are not increasing.
Broussard says prices will not be increasing for the students. In fact, in some areas, they might actually see a cost savings. The cost of a Forever stamp is up 10% from 50 cents to 55 cents as the U.S. Postal Service continues to struggle financially. The price increase, the largest since 1991, took effect on Sunday. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
.101.7 FM, 710 KEEL, Robert and Erin, 736. Back to our garbage thing with all the, trying to get in touch with all the council people this morning. We'll see where we are in a couple of minutes. Why are you efforting to such a great degree to get in touch with the State Commissioner of Agriculture, Mike Strain?
Well, because we've had another glitch in getting medical marijuana out to those who have the prescriptions for it. And we're supposed to have it ready by the end of this month, which is, what, tomorrow, the next day?
And which is, but as of right now,
Now they're saying the end of the summer. And all these people have had their prescriptions in hand for, what, 3-4 months?
Some of them even longer. That's just locally.
And
3-4 months.
Now we're looking at another, looks like 8-month longer delay. And some are claiming it's testing and administrative problems with the state agriculture department are to blame.
What does Commissioner Strange say?
I'm
too busy putting stickers on gas pumps.
I'm efforting to get the ag commissioner on and ask him about that.
Marky, what was in the story? What was in the?
I don't know if you guys watched the big meeting yesterday, but there was some heartbreaking stuff because medical marijuana can be used to treat seizures and stuff like that. And this lady whose son needs these treatments was like, "Look, he needs."
Is there nothing else?
Not that is as effective. And it does what it needs to do without any negative side effects. So this woman was just telling this heartbreaking story about her kid, and then a guy representing a group of veterans, because you can get a marijuana prescription for PTSD and some other issues. He's like, look, we got a lot of troubled people out there, and they can't get the medicine they need, and it's just nonsense.
It's tough. Hopefully we'll catch up with Mr. Strange.
Originally, it was due to hit the market, as it were, to the specific pharmacies, the compound
right
pharmacies,
now.
In the next few days at the latest. And the latest news is the
end of summer?
Parky, you had one more thing.
Well, originally it was supposed to be out in like November or something, like last year sometime, and they kept on pushing it back, and now we're here. And if you remember when we had Mike Strain on the last time, he was talking about, well, we got to test it, we got to do this. And a lot of people say that that the ag department's throwing up a lot of stop signs where they're not needed.
739, 1017 FM, 710 Keel. More on the garbage stuff in a couple of seconds, including a couple more late texts from council people. We'll see what they have to say. Traffic, here's Ruben.
Still keeping a close eye on that major accident on Burt Coons Industrial Loop near Pines Road. And we have some backed up traffic on Benton Road just north of Green Acres Boulevard in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Well, the worst of the cold will stay off to our north. We are going to look at sunshine. Chilly temperatures compared to yesterday, 46. Cloudy tonight, low 32. Clouds open the door for partly cloudy skies tomorrow, 53. Thursday, few clouds during the day, highs near 60. Richard Wettigan, the Weather Channel.
Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty, 1017 FM, 710 Keel. The Keel app, a free download from Office Furniture Source. So I just thought it was about time, because it goes back on the actual city council docket in a couple of weeks. When they get back together, they'll have a work session on Monday, then the open session on Tuesday, 2 weeks from now, I guess.
Right.
And so I said, well, let's see where people stand. We texted all, well, you did. Nice job. The council people, Fleury, Green, Butcher, Nicholson, Fuller, Bradford, and Bowman. Who have we heard back from, and what did they say?
Only two of them so far.
The question was, where do you stand now if theoretically the vote were right now? What would you do? What are you in favor of? What amendments might you want to attach? Or how would you want this bill changed? I.e., the Mayor Perkins' $18 a month idea.
So far, gotten back to James Fleury says, I support a $5 fee with a sanitation enterprise fund.
Which means it has to be self-sustaining, I guess,
right.
or self-sufficient. Okay.
Councilman Bradford says no to $18, hoping to compromise to less than 10, still have a problem with one fee for all. So he's, and I don't know if you heard the audio from him at the council, But Councilman Bradford got emotional. He got choked up when saying his constituents told him, "We sent you here to fight for us." And you could hear in his voice, he got choked up. He was near tears.
Part of the conversation with anything we do here in Shreveport is what do you do with people that can't pay? What do you do for people that can't pay? Right now, there is a degree. What was it, to the tune of $200,000 last year in water subsidies?
Right.
For the city of Shreveport, right? Mm-hmm. So built into whatever your bill is, as I said this a couple of times, whatever your bill happens to be, if it's a $100 a month bill, there is part of that bill that is going to pay for people who can't pay.
Right.
And you had brought the point up a couple of times with any number of city officials. If you're going to tack $18 on, you've got what do you do with people that don't pay? It's attached to your water bill. What do you do?
Absolutely.
What are you going to means test? Are you going is part of Mayor Perkins' proposed $18 fee? Is there a portion of that is, for lack of a better term, set aside to cover the people who are not going to pay the $18 a month?
Yeah, and let me be clear, because I've been silly when I was talking about the hot dog and the filet mignon, but you can call it what you want. You can call it a fee, I don't know, but if you look at the distinct definition of tax, let's all be honest with ourselves. A tax is this, and I'm quoting, a compulsory contribution to government revenue levied by the government on workers' income and business profits, or added to the cost of some goods, services, or transactions. This is something you've added to the cost of services. That comes under the definition of tax.
Is that really a big deal? I mean,
it is to me. I don't want you to lie to me.
It's not a lie.
Yes.
It's just.
It's not a tax.
You're arguing over terminology.
You know what? That's important to me. You're taxing me money from my pocket. I can't say no to it. I can't opt out and hire my own garbage fee, my own garbage collector.
Which brings us to the point that I have been and what do you think Councilman Bradford meant when he said, read his text once again. I want you to tell me what you think he means. Because I know what Mr. Willie means, but you tell me.
No to $18, hoping to compromise to less than $10.
Still
have a problem.
Here's the part.
With one fee for all.
Now, I have a problem with one fee for all also. Mm-hmm. What do you think Mr. Willie means as opposed to what I mean?
He's meaning there are folks who can't afford it.
What do you think I mean?
You want garbage socialism.
No.
Pay per pound.
I don't want garbage socialism.
Pay per pound.
I want to pay for what look, if I have one bag of garbage, mm-hmm. And I was thinking about that last night, and here was the point, and I think I had mentioned this last week, and the city that I cite repeatedly is Grand Rapids, Michigan, where you can get a different size garbage can. 96 gallons, 48 gallons. I think the other one is 24 or 28. The point being, now on that garbage can is a little microchip, and you get charged every time that garbage can is emptied into that truck. Here's the point I'm making. I just said to Erin a couple of off the air a little while ago. I said, how often do you put your garbage can down at the curb for pickup? She goes, every Monday. Imagine if you only put your garbage can down at the curb when it was full.
Oh, yeah.
Because you'd be being charged every time it gets turned upside down.
Every time they dump it.
So, are you going to want to pay 50 cents or $1 or $1.50 every time it's tipped over for one bag? Or every time it's tipped over when it's actually full?
Ooh, I'd wait till it was full.
My point exactly. Now, do you see why this might be a damn good idea? Imagine if Shreveport sanitation workers didn't pick up your garbage can, didn't tip over your garbage can, unless it was down by their truck, down by the curb. Mm-hmm. Okay? Imagine if everybody in Shreveport didn't put their garbage can down by the curb until it was full, because they knew they were going to get charged more every time it was turned upside down and empty. Think of the wear and tear and fuel savings and maintenance savings on the vehicles that you would save if nobody got their can emptied unless it was full.
That sounds like a smart city proposal with a chip in the garbage can, and you pay per tump. I'm loving this.
Do you know how often I would put literally
once a month
as a single man? I would
fill that baby up.
Exactly, wouldn't you?
And it's $20 every time you put it out.
And like I said, think of the wear and tear and maintenance and
yeah.
fuel savings on the trucks who aren't stopping and starting every 15 feet or every 20 or 25 feet.
I could probably go a month. If I planned well, I could go a month.
If you're listening to me, think about this now.
Yeah.
Think about all the people that it's probably you too, I don't know, who puts their garbage can down on the curb every Monday or Tuesday or whatever it happens
just get
to
it
be.
out of the house.
And you've got one bag, just one bag in this great big old can. Why not just wait a week or 2 weeks till it's full?
Ooh.
Well, if you were being charged per dump, per use, per lift and empty,
yeah,
maybe we'd start to be a little smarter.
Would we need all new trucks and all that, though? Okay.
No.
We could just retrofit all that stuff.
It wouldn't be on the truck. It would be on the can. You'd have to get new cans. Just another idea.
What if the raccoon tumps the can over?
Just another idea as we move into the 21st century. 749, 1017 FM, 710 Keel. Your Money Now just ahead, presented by Barksdale Federal Credit Union. Here's Ruben.
Still keeping a close eye on that major accident on Burt Coons Industrial Loop near Pines Road. And we have some backed up traffic on Benton Road just north of Green Acres Boulevard in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Well, the worst of the cold will stay off to our north. We are going to look at sunshine. Chilly temperatures compared to yesterday, 46. Cloudy tonight, low 32. Clouds open the door for partly cloudy skies tomorrow, 53. Thursday, few clouds during the day, highs near 60. Richard Wettigan, the Weather Channel.
.117 FM, 710 Keel Sports Update Time. Here's Tim.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. New Orleans Pelicans star Anthony Davis and his agent have requested that the team trade him because Davis's agent, Rich Paul, said that Davis will not sign an extension with the team this summer and will not be playing for them if he sticks around for his free agency year in 2020. The Pelicans have asked the NBA to look into the request as a tampering move, and the NBA is saying, yeah, it very well could be, and if so, Davis could face a fine. Both Paul, the Pelicans, and Davis, though, don't seem to be in any kind of hurry to get this done before the NBA's trade deadline of February 7th. Most people expect Davis to be on the Pelicans roster through the rest of the season and get moved after July 1st. In the SEC, there's a pretty good slate of games tonight. Georgia visits Arkansas. All the ranked teams are on the road. Top-ranked Tennessee at South Carolina. 22nd-ranked Mississippi State's out Alabama. And Kentucky visits Vanderbilt. 7th-ranked Wildcats take on Vanderbilt in that crazy little gymnasium. Also in the NBA last night, the Denver Nuggets overcame a 25-point deficit before last night. NBA teams were 174-0 when they had a 25-point lead in the second half. Well, the Grizzlies couldn't hang on. They lose to Denver 95-92. Former Louisiana Tech star Paul Millsap had 4 points and 5 rebounds for the Nuggets. And class of 2037, 5-star quarterback Fletcher Andrew Moss was introduced to the world yesterday. There's a shot that LSU and Arkansas could be bidding for his services 18 years down the road. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
Boom, 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 boom. 1017 FM, 710 Keel, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty, 755. Shreveport Security Systems text line 318, blowing up this morning, 318-392-1884.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean? Just wait till my garbage cans, it'd be smelly, get rats. Okay, you put your garbage in a bag, you put the bag sealed into the can that has a lid.
Right.
Okay,
you keep the and then you keep the garbage can outside, right, on like the patio or whatever.
Rats and they don't have opposing thumbs.
But raccoons can knock the top off. I've had that happen.
Just stop.
I have had a raccoon knock the top off the garbage.
Just stop.
I know. Got another text from a council member.
You're literally trying to kill me this morning.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about that after 8 o'clock.
Okay, we'll do that.
We can review all the texts, all the messages. Might get a couple more from the city council people. I just want to see where they stand on all this stuff. And I've got some questions for Mr. Fleury. May want to text him back on that.
Okay.
Do you know what? Since we just narrowly avoided Snowmageddon.
I know, it was close.
You're trying to kill me with this.
It is. It's right at freezing right now. It feels like, what did he say? It feels like 21 out there or something?
This is not. It's 33. It
feels like 21.
What on earth?
That's cold.
At any point made you think, do we close schools because of cold? The rain had stopped last night. It was still 52 degrees.
You got a point.
Nothing happened. Nothing happened last night.
We dodged a bullet.
We did. There's no bullet.
We did. We dodged a bullet.
Yeah, we dodged the bullet that hit Minnesota. Jeez. Now, I asked you this a while.
Keep your shoelaces on.
I know, because I'm going to come down here and choke you with them. Do you happen to know off the top of your head what the record low for Louisiana?
No.
Minus 16.
Whoa.
1899 in Minden, Louisiana.
Oh, my goodness.
The bullet they didn't dodge.
Woo.
7:57, here's Hannity on KEEL.
Waking up on the right side. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
There's no wiggle room here for people to accept that sometimes it's just smart to change strategies. Now, there's a lot of advantages to it. and there's some disadvantages to it. The biggest advantage is, assuming that Congress can't get their act together and they're going to stay rigid and hating Trump, and even if Trump gives them the things that they've said they wanted over the years, number one, he's exposing them for who they are, that they don't care about furloughed employees, dreamers, or DACA. They don't care about border security. We know they want open borders. We know they want to eliminate ICE. So they're the do-nothing party. He's the guy that's fighting for the right things. He's fighting for safety, security.
From coast to coast, from sea to shining sea, it's the Sean Hannity Show.
What if the kid who cut your grass worked like most financial advisors? Instead of a straight-up $20, you'd get some confusing bill with surcharges and add-ons. What the heck is a blade height adjustment fee? Creative planning is different. Our fiduciary advisors work off one transparent fee structure, and we never receive commissions on your investments. Dial 866-440-1006 for a free no-obligation consultation with Creative Planning. Investment strategies recommended by Creative Planning are not assured of earning a profit or avoiding a loss in declining markets.
It's happening to you every night. One snores, and the other can't sleep. But now, there is a quick and easy-to-use solution, a natural solution. Snore Stop, the #1 selling anti-snoring medicine in the U.S.
Thank you, Snore Stop. You saved my marriage.
It's time to try Snore Stop and make every night a better night for both of you. Spray or tablets are available today at Rite Aid and CVS or online at snorestop.com.
Major accident is still slowing down traffic on Burntcoon's Industrial Loop near Pines Road. And we have some backed up traffic on Airline Drive just north of I-220 in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
KEEL Weather Channel forecast, sunny today and kind of chilly, low 40s. Right now, 33 at KEEL, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL, 8 o'clock, Fox News.
Breaking news and trending talk. This is 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. KEEL, Shreveport.
Just past 8 o'clock, Robert and Erin, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Erin has local news. Getting ready now.
Talking more about this cold weather, what kind of impact it's had. We'll have more on that. Also, a little bit of a hurdle bump in the road for the police chief. We'll tell you more about that, too.
Some updates. We are canvassing, checking in with all the council people, see what their current stance on the garbage fee is and what their amendment ideas might be. Erin and I we had a very interesting lunch yesterday, and we will pass some of that info along. It was interesting.
It was eye-opening.
To say the least.
No doubt.
Fletcher Sports, traffic, and weather. It's all coming up this hour, and it's here on KEEL.
KEEL Morning Report, now on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
A bitterly cold morning. State climatologist Barry Kime says some areas are seeing temps in the upper 20s to low 30s today, but it could be even worse tomorrow.
By tomorrow morning, that cold air is just going to keep on coming, and we're going to likely to have temperatures down into the upper 20s to low 30s across the entire state of Louisiana. So it's going to be a very, very brisk day.
But it's not as cold as we expected, and the winter precip hasn't really happened across our region. Most youngsters do report to class as scheduled today. More controversy at SPD, a lieutenant questioning Substitute Chief Ben Raymond's hiring practices. Lieutenant Colette Kelly has asked the Civil Service Board to investigate Raymond's choice of Lieutenant Janet Daly as his interim deputy chief. Kelly says the position was never posted and that she has more experience and is more qualified than Daly. The board stopped Daly's move to the new position while they investigate Kelly's claims. An embattled Shreveport vet arrested. Matt Parker has the latest.
Jamie Wise, a Shreveport veterinarian who's been under investigation by the DEA, has been arrested. Wise surrendered to the Caddo Sheriff's Department on Monday. Following an investigation from the DEA and Sheriff's Office, Wise is being charged with failure to keep records and misuse of controlled drugs. Last year, the DEA pulled Wise's license to distribute CDS drugs after a whistleblower claimed that Wise and a friend were using the drugs themselves. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
Patients growing increasingly frustrated with the delays related to medical marijuana. The medical-grade pot was supposed to be on the market by the end of this month. Now officials are saying it may be closer to the end of summer. Many believe excessive testing and administrative problems with the state ag department are to blame. 2 suspects dead after a shooting Monday that left 5 Houston police officers hurt. 4 were hit by gunfire as they tried to serve a search warrant at a home where drug selling was suspected. 2 of the officers are in critical condition. Alzheimer's sufferers potentially have some great news out of LSU Health New Orleans. A patient who underwent hyperbaric oxygen therapy showed a big improvement in their mental and physical faculties. Director of the medicine, Dr. Paul Hart, says the patient reported increasing quality of life, and a brain scan showed a 38% increase in brain metabolism after undergoing the therapy.
The largest sets of genes that get turned on with this therapy are the growth and repair hormone genes that grow new tissue and the anti-inflammatory genes.
The patient was a 58-year-old woman who had experienced 5 years of cognitive decline. Now that private schools can hold state championship games at sites separate from public schools, it's up to LHSAA leadership to make it work. The significant change goes into effect for the 2019-2020 season. Executive Director Eddie Bonine says the details have yet to be worked out, though.
A lot of little moving targets here, but we're going to hit the ground running and do what we can to see where we're going to go with this.
LHSAA principals voted to give select schools the authority to choose where their championship games would be held. How's this for a bargain? Or maybe not. A 4-story, 8,000-square-foot castle in the middle of the Nevada desert. It's an off-the-grid, doomsday prepper home up for sale. The price tag, $900,000. The home has 16-inch thick concrete walls and self-sustained energy systems. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
It is 8:10, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL traffic from Reuben.
Major accident is still slowing down traffic on Burt Coons Industrial Loop near Pines Road. And we have some backed up traffic on Airline Drive just north of I-220 in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Well, the worst of the cold will stay off to our north. We are going to look at sunshine. Chilly temperatures compared to yesterday, 46. Cloudy tonight, low 32. Clouds open the door for partly cloudy skies tomorrow, 53. Thursday, few clouds during the day, highs near 60. Richard Weddick of the Weather Channel.
.101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Robert J. Wright, Erin McCarty, a little bit 12 past 8 o'clock. KEEL app, a free download from Office Furniture Source. Listen anywhere in the world, and that would mean like if you're in Minnesota and it's like 60 below wind chill, and that makes you kind of local because Erin's worried about you.
Yeah.
You had some weird logic about that this morning. Oh, I remember what it was. Everybody's talking about the weather. I said, only in the sense they're making fun of alarmists like yourself.
Right.
Yeah, who are you just pointing at?
Erin McCarty.
Exactly.
As soon as you said alarmist, I was finishing the sentence
I'm
with
not
my
an
hands.
alarmist. I just want to.
Erin, you've been
best
freaking
case
out.
and worst case scenario.
Well, we got the best case.
I got here about 20 minutes early today, just in case I couldn't drive here.
Didn't
Thank
you
God I
bother-
did, by the
Didn't
way.
you bother to look out the window before you left the house?
Well, kinda, but
She was hoping.
yeah, I
Didn't
was.
you look at your phone and see
I
what
don't
the
have a
temp
bridge
was?
outside my house. I was
Didn't-
worried when I got to a bridge.
There was no rain last night.
It was at my house till about 9 or 10.
And when it was 55 degrees
I
still.
thought some of the water might have accumulated on the bridge and it could ice up.
All 10 of the inches we got. No, what world are you living in?
It's the Erin world. Okay, and you're just hovering.
Population 1.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have been throughout this morning canvassing, checking in, seeing what the city council people are thinking about the proposed. I have the sense that more and more people, especially in the last couple of days, are really starting to catch on to the $18 garbage fee proposed by Mayor Perkins.
Mm-hmm.
We said for a while, because I told you I'd gone to the 2 football parties a couple of weekends ago. Well, 2 Sundays ago this weekend. And it was 2 different spots, and it was all Shreveport people, and nobody had heard of it.
I know. I still have a lot of folks who haven't heard of it.
And I think people are now starting to catch on.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of discussion on Facebook, a lot of discussion. I hear people talking about it. And so I just wanted to see what the city council people, where they stand on that. So we sent texts out this morning.
Mm-hmm.
If the vote were today, or how have you evolved on this? What do you think? What are your thoughts? And what amendments might you be offering at the next city council session in a couple of weeks?
So far, I've only gotten 3 replies back.
Heard from Mr. Fleury.
Yeah.
James Fleury.
I support a $5 fee with a sanitation enterprise fund.
Okay, Mr. James was originally a no.
Mm-hmm. He's going for $5 now.
$5. You know, it's basically, I would think, we're going to get something.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be something. And, I mean, all up and down, all 7 members.
I just don't want to give it. I don't want to give more of my money to a department that can't get the bills right. Show me you getting the bills right
I'm sure
first.
The mayor would say that they are working on this, that we can accomplish more than one thing at one time.
Well, do
that
it.
They are working on this in a parallel way.
Mm-hmm. Willie Bradford says no to $18, hoping to compromise to less than 10. Still have a problem with one fee for all.
In other words, he wants he wants garbage subsidies.
Mm-hmm. Newly elected council member Grayson Butcher, I'm still undecided. As the ordinance is written, I'm against it. If this is passed, I want us to collect all we need to cover solid waste. It needs to go into an enterprise fund where those funds can only be used for that specific thing. Second, I would like to see a sunset provision, maybe 2 years. We have a lot of waste in our city budget. In 2 years, I'm hoping we can get that under control and this fee will not be needed anymore. Third, where is the money in our current budget earmarked for solid waste going to go? I would like to see a portion of it go to public safety pay increases to get them to a minimum of Bossier City. That's estimated at $6.5 million a year. The rest of that money would have to go to our reserve fund. We have a finance committee meeting Friday to discuss. One thing is clear. We have to do something. We have some critical issues here.
I.e., we don't have enough money.
Mm-hmm.
Critical issues. The critical issue is basically we don't have enough money.
Yeah.
To run the city.
I want to see that. I want you to show me that. I'm skeptical of that.
In other words, you want to show me where you've cut specific things and that you can't cut any more.
And I get police and firefighters need a pay raise, sanitation workers need a pay raise, but let's see if there are other efficiencies we can put in place first.
Hence, Mr. Butcher's proposed sunset clause.
Yeah, and I think he's honorable and an honest man. But you give government a fee today, even with a sunset clause, good luck getting that bee off. If you know what I mean. That ain't going to happen. They can tell you sunset. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
I am intrigued by what Mr. Fleury and an idea that Mr. Fleury originally had when we spoke with him the very first time a couple or 3 weeks ago on this proposal. And that was, he said, look, why doesn't the city consider, and maybe send him a text and ask him, if you would do that for me real quick. Ask Mr. Fleury, James Fleury, if he still is considering and thinks it's a good idea. Well, I thought it was a pretty good one. The city is not only in the residential trash pickup business, we're in the commercial trash pickup business.
You bet.
And what Mr. James said was maybe we should privatize the commercial side and maybe the city should just be in the residential trash pickup business. How much time, how much money, how much effort, how much cost would that save? If now, then you've got to work out, is Erin's House of Biscuits
right
that has a water bill, are they still going to get bopped for the $18 or whatever the fee happens to be? Or would only residential places pay that fee?
Interesting. That might help. That might be a help. I don't know. I need to see more
So
first.
you are adamantly against. You are saying no matter the current state, no matter the current fiscal condition of the sanitation department at DOWAS, Department of Water and Sewerage, you are adamantly against adding anything to anyone's bill until you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that A, they have streamlined to the point of no more streamlining as possible, and B, any problem they had with water billing over the last X number of years,
fix it,
has been corrected.
Fix it. Make it right first before you add more money to what's a bad system.
Parky, wrap it up.
Well, just going to talk about the water billing. Adrian posted on his Facebook page yesterday that they're rolling out the new thing where you have to verify the water meter before you can move to the next house. They're rolling that stuff out now, and it should be fully implemented by April.
I'm just telling you, they think that's going to work. If they really knew how many meters these folks never checked, now they're going to have to check every meter. Get ready to pay
electronically.
They're supposed to open them up and look at them.
Or aren't they?
They're not doing it.
Do you know for sure how
I
many?
know they haven't seen mine in 3 months.
You don't know where yours is.
I absolutely do.
19 past 8 o'clock, 1017 FM, 710 Keel. I almost said Robert and Erin. Erin and I had an interesting trip yesterday.
Boy, did we.
We will
to
discuss
jail.
that in a couple of seconds. Here's Ruben.
Major accident is still slowing down traffic on Burcoon's Industrial Loop near Pines Road. And we have some backed up traffic on Airline Drive just north of I-220 in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Now, the worst of the cold will stay off to our north. We are going to look at sunshine. Chilly temperatures compared to yesterday, 46. Cloudy tonight, low 32. Clouds open the door for partly cloudy skies tomorrow, 53. Thursday, few clouds during the day, highs near 60. Richard Wettigan, the Weather Channel.
.107 FM, 710 Keel Sports Update. Here's Fletch.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. New Orleans Pelicans star Anthony Davis and his agent have requested that the team trade him because Davis's agent, Rich Paul, said that Davis will not sign an extension with the team this summer and will not be playing for them if he sticks around for his free agency year in 2020. The Pelicans have asked the NBA to look into the request as a tampering move, and the NBA is saying, yeah, it very well could be, and if so, Davis could face a fine. Both Paul, the Pelicans, and Davis, though, don't seem to be in any kind of hurry to get this done before the NBA's trade deadline of February 7th. Most people expect Davis to be on the Pelicans roster through the rest of the season and get moved after July 1st. In the SEC, there's a pretty good slate of games tonight. Georgia visits Arkansas. All the ranked teams are on the road. Top-ranked Tennessee at South Carolina. 22nd-ranked Mississippi State's out Alabama. And Kentucky visits Vanderbilt. 7th-ranked Wildcats take on Vanderbilt in that crazy little gymnasium. Also in the NBA last night, the Denver Nuggets overcame a 25-point deficit before last night. NBA teams were 174-0 when they had a 25-point lead in the second half. Well, the Grizzlies couldn't hang on. They lose to Denver 95-92. Former Louisiana Tech star Paul Millsap had 4 points and 5 rebounds for the Nuggets. And class of 2037, 5-star quarterback Fletcher Andrew Moss was introduced to the world yesterday. There's a shot that LSU and Arkansas could be bidding for his services 18 years down the road. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
.101.7 FM, 710 Keel, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. So what about yesterday going to the Juvenile Justice Center, Caddo Parish, there on Uri or Market, whichever part, sort of melds right there. How much of that should we not talk about? Was there anything that was...
No, it's open. It's open.
So we went to lunch yesterday with whom?
We went to lunch with Ted Cox, the administrator of juvenile courts, Clay Walker, who's also works with juvenile courts, and 2 of the judges, Paul Young and the chief judge, David Matlock.
Right.
And we ate lunch right there among the inmates. We toured the facility. We talked about they have 2 complex issues going on right now. March 1st, they essentially have to start taking 17-year-olds into the juvenile complex.
So basically, by law, this spring, if you're a 17-year-old and you're in real jail, you're getting moved out of real jail and being sent to juvenile jail. Is that basically it?
Yeah.
So all the juvenile jails, all the juvenile facilities across the state suddenly have to take on X number of 17-year-olds who have been in big boy jail. How are they going to do that?
It's another unfunded mandate, and it's one of those things. You changed the law, but you didn't give them any more money to add to the bed space. We house 24 juveniles currently, and the way and they rolled out the numbers for us yesterday, and they said we would increase that by about 50%.
Let me start here. Is that the juvenile facility in Caddo Parish is probably the best of its kind in the state.
Oh, it's
probably,
incredible.
Without a doubt, head and shoulders above all the others.
And I was expecting a bologna sandwich. That's not what we ate. When we ate what the inmates ate. We ate pork chops. I mean, good healthy food. And it's I'm amazed at how clean it is at 35 years old. They do a great job there, but they don't have room to expand. The Supreme Court won't let them add bunks to the cells. That's against the law. So they have to add a pod or 2 pods or whatever they're going to have to do. And the Caddo Commission has repeatedly said, no, we're not going to fund this. We're not going to do this. We're not going to go out to the public for another bond issue or whatever.
But the Caddo Commission, correct me if I'm wrong, and you can explain why. And the judges, I guess, touched on that a little bit. The Caddo Commission is sitting on a rainy day fund of $151 million. Now, how much did they tell us?
To the commission's credit,
yes,
and this is, I'm being the devil's adversary here, they don't want to use that reserve fund for recurring expenses because that'll just whittle it down.
Did they say it would be about $12 million for the expansion? Is that what they told us yesterday?
That's the upfront cost, and then about $3 million a year.
$3 million additional dollars a year for the upkeep of the 17-year-olds.
Right, and they just want to expand. They've got room in the back where they could add another pod or 2 pods. Each pod holds 3 inmates, and they have 3 pods currently, so it's up to 24. And they need 1 or 2 more. And so far, the deadline's crunching now. And Judge Young says he's going to just be marching in front of the Caddo Commission, every meeting to preach, we got to take care of this. My issue is, and maybe I'll call my buddy the sheriff and find out, he gets funding from property taxes and a portion of the sales tax for the jail. If he's losing some of his inmates, a percentage of his inmates, why can't a percentage of the funding that he gets from the property tax and the sales tax be moved over to the juvenile lockup?
Though, that would be more than a pittance of the amount you would need.
That's what it is. I mean, it's not going to be a whole lot of money. It's not like it's going to be $3 million. And they need $3 million to operate.
So the kids are up every morning. The inmates ranging in age from 10 to 16.
Yeah.
They're up at about 6, and there's breakfast, and there's physical activity. Then there's school all day. More physical activity, whatever jobs they have to perform around the facility. And most of those jobs around that facility are performed by the youngsters there. Then it's more school and more physical activity. And
bedtime at 8.
Then a little game.
Yeah. You can play a little, watch a little TV if you earn it.
You get to go to bed. Bedtime is 8. But if you are well behaved and get good grades and do your jobs, you get to stay up a little bit later.
We had a lot of discussion about other issues at the jail that I'm going to bring guests in on over the next couple of weeks with regard to the core root of the problem of some of our kids today, and really eye-opening stuff. And I'm working on getting some guests in.
And the interesting thing, the biggest problem, as they discussed yesterday with us, the biggest thing about having to take on any number of 17-year-olds is that you're putting... See, they are segregated by age. The little kids aren't in with the big kids. But the security problem, there is, as they noted, a pretty serious security problem with bringing in a whole bunch of what are essentially grown men who have been in real jail.
Right.
29 past 8 o'clock. Let me clarify. I apologize. Not that ain't real jail. But it's a lot different when you've got there is an innate problem with taking on a whole bunch of grown men in a facility.
Right. Absolutely.
Who in this case are 17.
You bet.
101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Yes, ma'am.
Mike Strain, the Ag Commissioner, is going to join us at 8:40 this morning to talk about medical marijuana.
Here's Ruben.
Starting to see some slow-moving traffic on Texas Street in downtown Shreveport, and we have some backed-up traffic on I-20 westbound near Spring and Market. It's backed up to Benton Road right now. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Now, the worst of the cold will stay off to our north. We are going to look at sunshine. Chilly temperatures compared to yesterday, 46. Cloudy tonight, low 32. Clouds open the door for partly cloudy skies tomorrow, 53. Thursday, few clouds during the day, highs near 60. Richard Wettigan, the Weather Channel.
Of information. KEEL News now.
Absolutely frigid out there right now. State climatologist Barry Kimes says some parts of the state could be in for below freezing temps today, and the rest of the state won't be too much warmer than that.
Temperatures this morning are mostly in the 30s across Louisiana, with some upper 20s across northern parishes of the state, basically the area north of the I-20 corridor, Shreveport and Monroe.
But it's not as cold as we expected, and the winter precip hasn't happened. Most youngsters do report to class as scheduled today. More controversy at Shreveport Police. Matt Parker has that.
A lieutenant is questioning Substitute Police Chief Ben Raymond's hiring practices. Lieutenant Colette Kelly has asked the Civil Service Board to investigate Raymond's choice of Lieutenant Janet Daly as his interim deputy chief. Kelly says that the position was never posted and that she has more experience and is more qualified than Daly. The board stopped Daly's move to her new spot while they investigate Kelly's claims. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
Embattled Shreveport vet arrested. Jamie Wise, a Shreveport veterinarian who's been under investigation by the DEA, has been arrested. She surrendered to Caddo deputies Monday. Following the investigation by the DEA and the sheriff's office, Wise is being charged with failure to keep records and misuse of controlled drugs. Last year, the DEA pulled Wise's license to distribute CDS drugs after a whistleblower claimed Wise and a friend were using the drugs themselves. More delays and anger over medical marijuana. Patients growing increasingly frustrated with the delays related to medical marijuana in Louisiana. The medical-grade pot was supposed to be on the market by the end of January. Now officials say it may be closer to the end of summer. Many believe excessive testing and administrative problems with the state ag department are to blame. 4 Houston police officers shot, another hurt while trying to serve a search warrant.
4 Houston police officers shot serving a search warrant at a home that police describe as a hub for drug dealers. Police adding that a tip from a neighbor led officers there, but when they arrived, they immediately came under fire. Police eventually shooting and killing 2 suspects. Right now, one of those officers has been released from the hospital with a gunshot to the shoulder, but 2 officers are in critical condition with gunshots to the neck. The police union leader with tough talk for those who attack cops.
A group of about a dozen officers with Houston PD's narcotics unit were trying to serve the warrant when they forced open the home's front door and immediately faced gunfire. The LSU Board of Supervisors approves a new pricing structure for football and baseball. LSU ticket manager Brian Broussard says in Tiger Stadium, they've identified the areas that consumers are willing to take on the bigger price tag.
We are increasing some of those areas by 4 to 12%, and we are lowering or having no change to approximately 24,000 tickets, as well as student tickets are not increasing.
Broussard says prices will not be increasing for the students. In fact, in some areas, they might actually see a cost savings. The cost of a Forever stamp is up 10% from 50 cents to 55 cents as the U.S. Postal Service continues to struggle financially. The price increase, the largest since 1991, took effect on Sunday. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Are you drowning?
.101.7 FM, 710 KEEL, Robert and Erin. Well, it would appear that if the commissioner of the NFL, Roger Goodell, if he's gonna make them replay that game, they pretty well damn
need to get on it.
Better get to it.
Yeah, better get rocking.
And there are people who still, it's. I'm not saying let it go, but.
Mm-hmm. It's not going to happen. So it's just not going to happen. Which I'm sad about.
Mr.
but-
Hardcore over there. It's just get over it, Saints fans. That's Matt over there. He thinks they're a bunch of wieners.
I do.
Why?
Get over it.
Why?
I mean, I get it's upsetting. The play didn't go your way, all that kind of stuff. But guess what? There was a lot of no calls on both sides. The refs,
Nothing like that one. Come on.
there was plenty of no calls that could have changed different situations in the game. But, nobody talks about those. It's all one play.
Wouldn't
Get
you
over
say
it.
that one was an incredibly obvious mistake?
There's obvious mistakes on every play. If you really break down the play, there's probably 4 flags that could get thrown on every down in the NFL.
That one, no doubtedly, undoubtedly, undoubtedly altered the finish of the game.
Yeah, okay.
Undoubtedly, no doubtedly.
And you could look back and go, wow, if they actually flagged that, the Rams would have been on the 5-yard line and scored.
No.
You could literally do that with a dozen plays in that game where there are egregious missed calls from the refs
You're
on both
a
sides.
hater.
I'm not a hater.
You're a devil and not a saint.
Look, I feel bad for Drew Brees because I really wish he would have got one before he retired. But it's not like they're like, screw the Saints. The calls went both ways, and they
From
just
Southern California officials.
So basically, in your mind, Saints fans are just overreacting. It could have happened at any time, and they miss calls all the time, and this one is no worse than missing an offsides call in the first quarter.
I mean, look at the Patriots game. There was missed calls there too. There was stuff that got called. It's the flow of the game, and unless you challenge every single play for every single infraction, it's never going to be perfect.
So we should get rid of replay? Is that basically what you're telling me?
I say no replay at all, but that's just me.
That would be awesome. 839, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Traffic update now. Mike Strain, Ag Commissioner, just moments away. We're hoping right now. Ruben's ready.
Still keeping a close eye on that heavy backed-up traffic on 3132 eastbound near Linwood Avenue due to a minor accident. And we have some traffic delays on Shed Road near Swan Lake Road in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Now, the worst of the cold will stay off to our north. We are going to look at sunshine. Chilly temperatures compared to yesterday, 46. Cloudy tonight, low 32. Clouds open the door for partly cloudy skies tomorrow, 53. Thursday, few clouds during the day, highs near 60. Richard Wettigan, the Weather Channel.
$19 away from 9 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Keel app, a free download presented by Office Furniture Source. Mr. Mike Strain, the Dr. Mike Strain, the Commissioner of Agriculture for the state of Louisiana. Dr. Mike, welcome back to Keel. How are you this morning?
Good morning. Fine. It's warmed up to 37 degrees here, so everybody's smiling. Beautiful sky.
How the state survived this snowmageddon is beyond me.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start here, Dr. Mike. Another delay in the implementation of the medical marijuana law. What's the latest? Why the delay? What can we look forward to, or at least prospective patients?
Well, I don't know that you talk about a delay. We're working forward. If you're talking about, I guess, LSU's program, they have submitted the information to the state police on suitability, and we're working through their operating procedures. But everything is in motion. We're going to inspect their permanent facility. They've been operating out of a small temporary pod to get their procedures down and to start the process. We've completed testing of the concentrate and have those things developed. But the bottom line is they have to pass suitability before they can operate a manufacturing facility.
So just
they've submitted information to the state police, and that's being investigated. And also now Southern, they are moving forward with their suitability, their operating procedures. I think they've signed a contract on land to build a facility. So it's not necessarily delays, but this is the actual process.
Well, just straighten me out then. What was the end of January date? Maybe I misunderstood.
Well, that's something that GB Sciences put out. But the fact of the matter is that they cannot start until they pass suitability. That's what the law says.
Have there been delays on your part in the suitability testing?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am. Suitability is actually handled by the state police on contract for us. And really, the suitability procedure didn't start until mid-October when the information was submitted to us in mid-October. And so suitability can, normally takes a substantial period of time. It's a very intense background investigation. But then, additional information has been requested, and it was turned in, I think, on just about, within the last week. We finally got the information back, the last set of information back from GB Science in the last week.
When you're the ag commissioner, plants and the best time to grow. When is the best time for marijuana to be grown in Louisiana?
Well, this is all grown inside.
So it won't matter?
In theory, it will not matter, no. No, it's a totally controlled environment. And so, and again, there's different phases of light that are used, for different parts of the growth cycle. But everything's inside in a controlled grow environment.
Now, Amy,
it's not outside.
Amy Hernandez, your lab supervisor, said the first testing, and I'm quoting her, did take longer than I expected, but she said she doesn't expect that with future testing. Can you explain that?
Well, sure, because we're testing a concentrate that is made by just heat and compression from the marijuana plant. And so, and again, the reason that we're in the temporary pods and the reason that's been allowed to go forward pending suitability is so we could develop these testing methodologies. And these testing methodologies for this particular concentrate, it's not just something you put in a machine and hit a button. You have to figure it out. There were no laboratories in Louisiana where we could send this to out of state because it's a violation of federal law. And so we've developed these technologies, and we've invested very heavily in the lab, and we've had them working on it full-time in order to develop the method to detect many different things. The easy part is dealing with the amount of THC and the amount of cannabinoids, but the harder part is to determine pesticides, heavy metals, mycotoxins, or any other adulterants that might be in there, because we test the concentrate and then they produce the final product, and that as quickly as possible, if they have any final product properly made, properly labeled, to let us start testing that. And so we're starting from ground zero to develop the methodology to do the test and to do the testing. And again, there are multiple different strains. Each strain is different. Mm-hmm. But the bottom line is that they're not in the full production facility. We're still working with the initial temporary pod where the design is to develop these methodologies.
Your message,
there's no permanent production facility.
Your message to parents who have children who've been waiting for this.
We are working everyone is working as quickly as possible to bring a safe product to market. And so, when your compression time, normally if you're doing with a drug that goes to the Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, it's 7 to 10 years, from inception to where it's done through its clinical trials, et cetera. And so, GB Sciences and, the contract for this facility has been in operation less than 2 years.
So
we're trying to accelerate everything.
What's the best case scenario? You said accelerate everything. What's your best case scenario? Is it the end of summer, maybe sooner?
Well, I can't give you that because the parameters that I have, I'm involved in are, again, suitability and the operating procedures. but they have to establish the lines. They have to grow the product out, which takes a period of time. Then they've got to process it. And so, and also, get into the building and that sort of thing. But everything's being done simultaneously, and LSU and Southern are both working on it. To give a hard and fast date is not possible because of all the different variables.
Mike Strain, Louisiana Ag Commissioner, thanks for joining us this morning. We appreciate it, sir.
Thank you.
You bet.
101.7 FM, 710 Keel, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Just a little more, a couple more texts and responses from city council people. We'll touch on those on the $18 proposed $18 monthly garbage fee. They will have the working session, and then the next open meeting is the second. The work session is the second Monday in February. The next open meeting is the second Tuesday.
Work session's open too.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, well, explain to me the difference then.
They have the second Tuesday of the month
is the meeting.
They have a meeting.
But the
day before that, they have a work session where they hash out, some things to try to keep the meeting flowing smoothly.
And the last meeting only went 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
848, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Your Money Now coming up next.
Keeping a close eye on that heavy backed up traffic on 3132 eastbound near Linwood Avenue due to a minor accident. And we have some traffic delays on Shed Road near Swan Lake Road in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
849, it's 101.7 FM and 710 Keel. Weather Channel forecast. Guess what? Sunny and a little chilly today, low to middle 40s. Increasingly warmer through the rest of the week. Right now, 34 degrees, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel, it's 850. And right now, coming up is Your Money Now.
You're listening to American Ground Radio's Morning Minute.
Democrat Roy Hebron was elected mayor of Ball, Louisiana, but he's not going to get to serve because on the same day he was elected, voters across the state approved a new constitutional amendment barring recent felons from serving in office.
Supporters of the constitutional amendment argue that this measure is necessary to restore integrity to Louisiana's government. However, whatever happened to once someone has completed their debt to society, they should be allowed to participate in normal civic life, including seeking public office.
It's okay to forgive, but maybe we shouldn't forget. The last time Hebron was mayor of Ball, Louisiana, he defrauded the federal government for thousands of dollars.
American Ground Radio, where building a better America begins with building a better us. Return each weeknight from 6 to 7 p.m. with Louis R. Avalone and Stephen Parr on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL and streaming live at KEELnews.com.
What I don't know.
Neither do I.
101.7 FM, 710 KEEL, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty.
I just want to go ride a train.
Is she incredibly irritating to me? Is it me or is it just her today?
Robert, look at my face.
Yeah, you're right.
Do you think it's just you?
I can go to Marshall and get on the train. Is that the closest I can go?
Please, dear
I
God,
feel
go
like
to
riding
Marshall
a
now.
train today.
You can go to Dallas, and more and more people are doing this.
Maybe I'll go to the Rose Center and ride that little baby train.
More and more. Get your little hat. You'll be awesome.
Yeah, choo-choo.
More and more people are doing this. We've talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
You fly out of Dallas.
Yeah.
This is I hate to bring this up, but so many people do it because of the cost of flying out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Because you save what, 100, 150? You've flown out of Dallas. What's the average savings?
A couple of hundred.
But what my sister-in-law Susie did last time was she and a friend were going to, I don't remember where it was, flying at Denver maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And they got a ride to Marshall, got on the train that goes to Dallas. It's like $22.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
There's even a bus now that takes you over there.
You go to Dallas for $22 on the train. You go to the main station. You change trains. It takes about 10 minutes, and that one goes right to DFW.
I have changed my thinking on that, though, because I did the math on my time involved and the driving back and forth, the time on the train, and for $200, I am forever now going to fly out of Shreveport.
But see, so what do you do? Oh, you fly out of here.
I fly out of Shreveport, and I'll be doing that later this year, a couple of trips, and just going to fly out straight out of Shreveport because I find my time is more valuable than the couple of hundred I'm going to save.
Because your daily itinerary is so packed.
And the hassle of getting in and out of Dallas. But on the train, it's nice.
You know, you're making a 100% valid point.
Yeah.
Because when you go to Dallas, you've got a hope upon hope that there's not a car wreck anywhere.
Absolutely. On your route.
Or else you're going to be sitting there for 90 minutes.
You're stranded, yep. And then you got to miss your plane and all that stuff. Who wants to do that?
Back tomorrow morning, 6 till 9. Robert J. Wright, Erin McCarty, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Time for Kim Commando.
America's politicians have been so busy quibbling about walls and the shutdown that they've completely ignored everyone who flies. Kim Commando with your Monday Consumer Tech Update, brought to you by SimpliSafe, the most innovative and comprehensive wireless protection for your home. Order yours at simplysafekim.com. That's simplysafekim.com. As the partial government shutdown engulfs the country for the first time, we've been able to see just how dangerous hobby drones can be. Unfortunately, no one was paying attention. First, it was London's Gatwick Airport in December. A few days ago, it was Newark Liberty Airport, New Jersey. Vandals using low-cost hobby drones caused both airports to stop all operations, costing tens of millions and stranding thousands of passengers. The technology to counter these devices is not installed at any American airport. Make no mistake, even a small toy drone can bring down a 737. Will it take a few hundred people dying in a needless crash before America takes action? I'm Kim Commando. For years, I've been telling you about my printer of choice, the Epson EcoTank 4750. And it's easy to tell you why. It's revolutionary, it's wireless, and a complete all-in-one printer that's 100% cartridge-free. Now, I don't know about you, but I used to hate to having my print jobs interrupted just to replace an ink cartridge. Now, there's no more hassle with the Epson EcoTank 4750 because it comes with up to 2 years of ink right in the box. That's enough to print up to 11,000 color pages, and that's equivalent to about 30 ink cartridge sets. If I had to go buy 30 cartridge sets, that would cost me about $1,500. I love my Epson EcoTank printer, and I know you will too. And from now till March 31st, buy any EcoTank printer at epson.com/EcoTankKim and get free overnight shipping when you use promo code EcoTankKim at checkout.
Offer valid within the 48 contiguous states. Exclusions apply, subject to availability.
Looking right now at some backed-up traffic due to a minor accident on 3132 eastbound near Linwood Avenue. And we have some traffic delays on East Texas Street near Hamilton Road in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Now, the worst of the cold will stay off to our north, and we are going to look at sunshine. Chilly temperatures compared to yesterday, 46. Cloudy tonight, low 32. Clouds open the door for partly cloudy skies tomorrow, 53. Thursday, few clouds during the day, highs near 60. Richard Wettigan, the Weather Channel.
If Shreveport Bossier is talking about it, so are we. 1017 FM and 710 KEEL.
Hey, this is State Fire Marshal Bush Browning. Shreveport and Bossier are lucky to have Robert and Erin each morning. In-depth coverage of big stories that matter to the community.
We are KEEL. 1017 FM and 710 KEEL.
Just about 9 o'clock, 1017 FM, 710 KEEL.
Breaking news and trending talk. This is 1017 FM and 710 KEEL. KEEL, Shreveport.